the 2015 Chevrolet Cruze is still in good standing. So, let's go ahead and check it out. Now for 2015, the Cruze has been slightly refreshed, and it receives a new 4G cellular and in-car Wi-Fi hotspot connectivity through its OnStar system, the Siri Eyes-free smartphone feature which gives iPhone owners an expanded voice command functionality, and then also this year's Cruze also gets an updated front-end design as well as a minor shuffling of equipment. Now you could tell the difference from a 2015 to a 2014 by the LED daytime running lights as well as the grille. The LEDs are added for the 2015 model year. And then this one we have here, this Cruze, is an LT model, and it's pretty well equipped, I have to say. Now, as far as styling goes of the vehicle, I think it's quite handsome looking, quite restrained. It's definitely not the most stylish car in the class. If you're looking for a more stylish compact car, you might be better off with a Mazda 3. However, it's still very handsome looking, and the LED daytime running lights do give it a much more premium presence. Now, coming to your key fob design, I love how Chevrolet likes to put switchblade keys on everything that they have if it doesn't have a smart key. And then you do have your lock, unlock to release your trunk, and then remote engine start, and then your panic button's right here too. Pretty nice. Now, it is a tungsten metallic exterior color with a light gray cloth interior. You also do have your power driver seat and manual recline too. Now stepping on into the interior here, as you can see, it's very Cruze familiar. And that's not really a bad thing here. It's a very stylish design, pretty high quality looking design here. And what you're hearing is that 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo. Now coming to your transmission, you have a 6-speed automatic here, pretty standard stuff nowadays. Manual shiftability as well. Putting the vehicle into reverse also displays your rear view camera with guidance lines. Trajectory as well. Pretty good looking rear view camera. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards too. Automatic driver's side window. Now let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors. (16-inch) alloy wheels. Your halogen headlights with your LED daytime running lights. Overall, the new grille design definitely does look more interesting this time around and a little bit more bold and premium. Now, under the hood, you will find the optional powertrain, which is a 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo, like I said. Now, your base powertrain is going to be a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder, and it is available with a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic. Now, the 1.4 liter we have here produces 138 horses at 4,900 RPM with 148 pound-feet of torque at 1850 RPM, with EPA estimates of a very fuel-efficient 26 in the city and 38 on the highway. It definitely provides more torque than the base powertrain. If you want better fuel efficiency and more power, definitely go with this powertrain here. Although the 1.8 liter 4-cylinder will get the job done. Now you also do have a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo diesel engine if you're looking for even more fuel efficiency out of the Cruze. Now pricing of the Cruze starts at the LS trim, which starts at $17,745. The 1LT starts at $19,065. And then you have the Eco, which starts at $20,095. The 2LT starts at $23,270. LTZ, $24,270. And then finally, the diesel, which starts at $25,660. Now, competitors of the Cruze are the cars in the compact class. You have its American competitors, the Dodge Dart, as well as the Ford Focus. Its Japanese competitors, the Nissan Sentra, Toyota Corolla, and the ever-popular Honda Civic. And then you have its German competitor, the Volkswagen Jetta, and two more Japanese competitors, the Subaru Impreza as well as the Mazda 3. Now this class is very competitive. And the Cruze is certainly a solid pick in the compact class. Now, total vehicle price for this particular one is $22,290. Like I said, EPA estimates are a healthy 26 in the city and 38 on the highway. Now, you also do have its Korean competitors, the Hyundai Elantra as well as the Kia Forte. Coming to the rear, I wish they did restyle the taillights a little bit for this refresh, but not a huge gripe there. Rear window defroster, of course. Power windows, power mirrors, power door locks. And I love how finally they located the power door lock switches up on the doors instead of the center console dash, like how a BMW did. Nice soft touch armrest, nice and soft to the touch on the mid door panel. However, hard plastic on the upper door panel, but has a really nice graining to it. And let's go ahead and rev it up. Now, build quality and materials inside of this car here. Build quality is pretty average for the class. Materials are pretty good. You have nice soft touch materials right here, and then also right here on the center console armrest, also nice and soft to the touch and stitched, and on the armrest and the mid door panel. So in the most important places, it is soft to the touch. Overall, materials are pretty decent overall, as well as build quality. Now, one complaint I do have about the Cruze is that the cabin space is a little bit confining in here, and then if you are a taller driver, you will find it to be a little bit more uncomfortable. Compared to rivals like the Volkswagen Jetta as well as the Toyota Corolla, they're definitely going to feel a little bit more roomier. And as far as the seats themselves, they're pretty nicely bolstered, and they have a decent amount of padding to them. It's just that this cabin just feels like an actual compact car from like the early 2000s or the 90s. It's a little bit confining. However, I do like the classy two-tone light gray color going on here as well as the black. It does give it a more interesting and distinctive looking flavor inside of this cabin. Now, as far as handling and the ride goes in the Cruze, it combines responsive handling with a comfortable, compliant ride. The sports suspension on the two LT, LTZ, and diesel models is firmer but still provides a very agreeable ride. The turbocharged 1.4-liter gas engine we have here is pretty average in terms of outright acceleration, but it's peppier around town than the 1.8-liter thanks to its increased torque. The automatic transmission it's paired to isn't as responsive, however. Programmed for maximum fuel economy, it's reluctant to downshift for a quick acceleration and passing unless you really boot the gas pedal. However, the diesel model of the Cruze uses a different 6-speed automatic, and I found that to be a little bit more responsive than the one we have here. Now, as far as visibility goes inside of this vehicle here, the A-pillar isn't too thick. There's lots of glass area all around, especially in the front. Outward visibility is also pretty good too. And then coming to rearward visibility, it's also good. Lots of glass area back there. The C-pillar isn't also too thick as well. And there's no sloping roofline, so definitely does help a lot. Now coming down here, you have a 12-volt power outlet, 2 cup holders, your e-brake is also right here. And then you also do have your center console, where you will find your USB port and your auxiliary input. Like I said, it's nice and soft to the touch and stitched. Now, coming to the center stack controls here, I do have one ergonomic gripe, is that when you put the shifter into park, it can get in the way if you're trying to reach some of the AC control knobs and buttons. But however, the center stack has been slightly refreshed, and you have your different zones right here, and then your different temperatures, and then your fan speeds are right here too, of course. Very simple and easy to use controls here, what you would expect from a compact car. Your recycling's right there, and your rear window defroster. Coming right there, here, they actually change out the switch from the... Now coming right here in the 2014 Cruze, this actually used to be the power door lock switch, but they changed this to be the trunk release switch. Coming up here, you also do have your OnStar with SOS Safety Connect, and then your interior illumination lighting, of course. Now coming to the steering wheel designs, since we have the LT trim here, it's a pretty basic looking design, and it's just a little dull. I think they could, you know, sprucing up the steering wheel just a little bit. Maybe add a metallic trim that goes right here. I know on the higher end trims it's definitely a lot nicer, but they've basically been using the steering wheel since the early 2010s, earlier this decade. But you do have your voice recognition, your Bluetooth, steering wheel mounted audio controls, cruise control buttons right over here too. So it's a very functional steering wheel. Now coming to Chevrolet's MyLink system, I like it for the most part. I love the graphics of it. I think that's the best part of the system, as well as the responsiveness. However, the buttons are just a little tad small for my liking, especially when you're trying to go to this lower section right here. It is a little bit of a hassle sometimes, especially on a daily basis, but that's just one minor gripe I do have when it comes to the ergonomics. Now coming to your media sources, AM, FM, XM satellite radio, Pandora internet radio, Stitcher smart radio. You have to have your smartphone connected, of course. Coming to your phone, you have your hands-free calling, and then your optical disc drive, CD player, USB port, auxiliary input, Bluetooth streaming audio, as well as you can read messages right here too. Pretty interesting. But those all include your media sources except for your messages. And then right there you have your weather, but you have to have a subscription, movies, pretty neat. But as you can see, I'm trying to reach into this lower section right here, and it can get a little bit, can be an annoyance sometimes, I have to say. Pictures right there, quick info, fuel prices. Let's go to quick info. Gives you your five-day forecast, nearby fuel stations, and then your movie show times. And then here's your tune knob right here, and then your seek track button, play button, and pause. Presets are right here too. And then your equalizer settings are right here if you just click on tone right here. Then you have your back button right here as well. And then you can change the time and date by clicking on clock, and then you have your quick info button right there. And then your favorites for your audio, your radio stations. Alright. Now coming to your gauges, the gauges do need a little bit of a refresh. They're pretty much carried over from the 2014 model year. But your speedometer is right there, and then your RPM gauge, fuel gauge, and then your oil temperature gauge. Now coming to the gauges, they're pretty much carried over for the 2014 model year, and they do definitely need a little bit of a refresh. I would love to see more advanced technology like a TFT display, but at least you do have a digital speedometer, and then you have your trip odometer too here, and then your compass, pretty basic stuff right there. Now you also do have a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Decent range of adjustment, I have to say. Alrighty. And then right here is where you will also find your traction control off button. And let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Materials and build quality do follow through in the rear for the most part. Right here it is hard to the touch on the armrest, where in the front it was soft touch. Up here, hard to the touch, but at least on the mid door panel, soft touch. Now sitting back here, this is where, compared to its competitors, it is lacking in rear seat passenger space. And it does feel a little bit confining back here, I have to say. You do have a rear armrest with cup holders at least, and a single mat pocket. But this seat is all the way back here, and I can basically do that in a Jetta or a Corolla and still have enough room to be comfortable. But in the Cruze, if the seat's all the way back, I would definitely have to squish in and cram in a little bit. Alright. Now the rear seats also do fold down to maximize cargo room. Decent amount of cargo capacity. powerful manual passenger seat. And your glove box. And nice and damp too. Alrighty. So with a very highly fuel efficient 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo, secure handling, a handsome and stylish interior design, and a big trunk, the 2015 Cruze doesn't dominate the small car class, but it's on equal footing with most competitors and is certainly worth a look if you're shopping for a fuel-efficient, compact sedan with solid credentials in most areas. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.